Khadija. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. Today we'll be discussing a very popular series that is well known all over the book community and is written by one of the most popular YA writers of all time at this point, or at least in the 21st century, and that is none other than Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. This book was amazing. I really liked it. It took me about a couple of weeks to finish it, but it's worth it. It's such a great book. And yeah, I highly recommend you guys go pick it up. Or if you guys don't like reading it physically, get the audiobook or get an ebook and just read it. It's a great book. And the movie just came out too, so we're going to be talking about the movie in this video. So we're going to be talking about both the book and the movie, what the movie got right, and what the movie I wish it was put in the book. But we're going to be talking about all of that. So without further ado, let's go. So first, I'm going to be giving a synopsis about what the book is about. This book follows a girl named Aza. She's 17 years old. She's a 17-year-old high school student who is living with OCD, which stands for obsessive compulsive disorder. It's a disorder that affects your brain and like the way it tackles like bacteria. I'm not super educated on OCD, but it's very prevalent in this book, and she has to deal with it. She goes to see a psychiatrist regularly, so the psychiatrist helps her cope with her OCD and handle it with ease. And this book follows her and her friend Daisy and her love interest Davis. And that's just like a brief synopsis on the story, but it's just mainly about Aza's Holmesy's, her full name is Aza Holmesy. It just follows her and her OCD and how the book deals with it. I will give a content warning. It does get pretty intense at times. So just be aware of that before you get started on this book, especially with OCD moments in this book. It gets pretty heavy, but just be cautious of that. If you can handle it, go ahead. But just to give a trigger warning, if you're sensitive to that, just be aware of those things. And the movie is basically an adaptation of the book. It's played by Isabella Merced. Daisy is played by Cree Chiquino, and the love interest Davis is played by Felix. I can't remember his last name. It starts with an M. I'll put it in the video somewhere. He is in the popular Netflix show Ginny and Georgia. He plays the love interest in that one as well. And yeah, it's a great cast. The movie was so good. I actually ended up really enjoying it. I thought I was gonna hate the movie because like of how it might not have lived up to the book, but the movie ended up being really, really good. So I highly recommend the movie. I would say go read the book first and then watch the movie. I would say that, but I'm biased because I watched the movie first and then I finished the book. But I was already like reading the book and watching the movie in between, and then I ended up just finishing the movie because my brain would hurt just going back and forth and like trying to nitpick every little thing. Then like I wouldn't enjoy myself. But the movie ended up being amazing, and the book as well. Highly recommend both the book and the movie. We're going to be talking about both of them in today's video. Now we move on to the spoiler section. So this is your warning. If you do not want to get spoiled for the movie or the book, click off this video now. But if you don't care and you just want to watch the video just because, go ahead. But the spoilers are going to be in 3, 2, 1. So we're going to be talking about what I liked in the book and what I liked in the movie, or like some changes that um, in the movie that I thought was pretty interesting. So the changes, there are a couple of changes in the in the movie. In the movie, Aza and Felix go to this college called Northwestern, which is a college in the U.S. in Chicago, and she wants to go there to meet her idol, her favorite professor, Professor Lucia Abbott, who is a very popular college biology professor. And she loves her TED Talks. She wants to be part of her class and everything. And however, in the book, that doesn't happen. There's no private jet scene. There's no Professor Abbott. None of that. That was all part of the movie. I think they added it like for the people, just to make the movie more interesting, I guess, but also for the people who don't read, they would find something like cool to watch, like, you know, Private Jack because he's rich, because Davis is rich. So, but honestly, I really liked it. Like, I thought it was really cool. Like, I thought it was a nice addition to the movie, but it would make more sense in the book that they didn't put that, you know, because like I feel like Davis is a little bit more humble in the book than he is in the movie, but he's still like pretty humble in a way. Some other changes that I enjoyed, I love the ending of the movie more than I do in the book. This is such an unpopular opinion, but I love the movie's ending more than I love the book's ending. It was just more hopeful, the movie version, than it is in the book, because in the book version, it's kind of a sad ending. There's a sad ending to Aza and Davis, um, about their story. In the end, same thing happens in the movie. You know, Davis has to move to Colorado because of his brother getting in trouble at school. In the book, I think in the movie he has like special needs or something. Um, but you know, they're both so super sad. But the movie has an extended ending where Daisy is talking to Aza about, you know, life is not going to be like now. Your now is not your forever, which is like the main thing that is in the book. Your now is not your forever. This book really inspired me, um, because sometimes I often take things too seriously. I don't want to do things super quick. But then this book has taught me that your now is not your forever. Like, and there's a quote and there's a verse in the Bible that also says the the pain or the sorrow that you're feeling right now can't compare to the joy that's coming, which I thought was it's such a beautiful Bible verse. And in the book, it's similar to that. Your now is not your forever, which Daisy really assures Aza that like the what you're feeling now is not going to be like what you're going to become or do in the future. She reassures Aza that, you know, life is not going to be easy, you know, but I will always be there. Daisy's words, I will always be there to be with you, and every step of the way. I love that change. So the private jet scene I actually really enjoyed in the movie, and then the ending scene was also absolutely beautiful. I love it. Gives you a sense of hope. It gives you encouragement. But the book's ending a little sad, pretty sad. But the movie's version, in my opinion, is the better one. So yeah, I think those are all the changes that I loved. The things, now we're gonna move on to the changes that I didn't necessarily love, and this has to do with mostly Davis's character. I did not like some of the changes for Davis's character in the movie. Like, I wasn't like heavily disappointed, but I wish they kind of added it in. The first one is kind of like a nitpick, but I do kind of wish that Davis wore glasses, because in the book he wears glasses. In the movie version he doesn't. I thought it would have been kind of cute though. Like it's a nitpick, like it doesn't really matter, but I thought it would have been a cute little addition if he did add the glasses. Just to see more of like a nerdy side, because Davis in the book is a bit of a nerd. The second thing is um, they didn't add a lot of depth to Davis's character. I feel like in the movie version, he was just there to be the love interest. He's a good love interest to Asa, but I feel like the writers, or at least maybe the author, because I think maybe the author is like an executive producer, but like the writers who for this movie, they didn't give Davis a lot of depth. If they did, it would have made Davis like stand out a lot more as a character, because in the book he's not just the love interest, like he has depth, he has his own interests. In the movie we get a very brief um, thing about like Davis's hobbies. They're very brief, um, but there's more to it in the book. For example, Davis loves poetry. He writes poetry all the time, and he even like creates a blog dedicated to his work, to his poetry work. He puts quotes from famous people and at the bottom of his poetry. They're very short poetry, and Asa loves it, absolutely loves it. She reads every single one of them, which is very very sweet. Um, and yeah, that's like the one thing like I do wish they could have done more with Davis's character in the movie, than in the book. Um, and yeah, like, but for the most part, like, I think Davis is a pretty good character in the book, in the movie. I mean, in the book, he's so much more. He has more personality than in the movie, because I feel like he's just a little bland. But yeah, that's the probably the only change that I didn't necessarily like in the movie. Moving on to the characters. So, hold on, water break. Moving on to the characters. So, starting off with our main character, Asa, our girl, Asa. I think she was handled pretty well in the movie as well. Isabella, I love Isabella Merced. I've been following her since Nickelodeon, so I knew she was gonna crush it, and she did. She crushed it in that role. I do I do prefer book Asa to movie Asa though. Even though I loved Isabella's performance, I do prefer book Asa, because I feel like there's a little bit more to her. Of course, like when you're doing a movie adaptation, you can only add so much. But I feel like with Asa, um, at least when I was reading it, it wasn't as intense. The OCD, when she was dealing with OCD, it wasn't as intense in the movie. Actually, what am I saying? It was pretty intense, like especially the hospital scene. If you know, you know, like the hospital washroom scene. That was a lot, and they got it right in the movie. Like, it was exactly like how it was in the book. Like the whole breakdown that she was having in the washroom, and like drinking that soap and everything. There's a theme in the movie and the book. Well, not theme, but like plot point where Aza's finger, she has a band-aid. She's very hyper fixated on her band-aid, because of the bacteria. Because of OCD, like every little detail, like little bacteria and stuff like that. Like she's just like, I have to wash this out. I don't want to get C. diff. I don't want to get all these infections, these viruses, none of that. And even when she's like kissing Davis, in the movie, Davis and Asa only kiss once. In the book, they kiss multiple times.
This is editing Khadija. I wanted to mention another thing that I liked about that part where Davy and Asa were kissing. I actually like in the movie that Asa and Davis only kiss once, just because we know that Asa struggles with OCD and like she's so hyperfixated on that. She's like trying every bit of every second to wipe off the kiss from Davis. Like she does not want to kiss him again, you know. So in the book, it's kind of odd for Asa to kiss Davis more than once, even though she is attracted to him, like just for the sake of her health and like for her OCD to like not get out of control. It's better for her to only kiss him one time and like just leave it at that. But I like in the movie that they chose to just have them kiss once and that's it, one and done, just for Asa, for her own sake, and so that she doesn't keep hurting Davis in the process. So that's what I wanted to say. Back to the video.
But like even while like they're doing all the kissing and stuff like that, she's still very anxious and worried about like she's gonna get infections by all the like the bacteria from like locking lips with locking lips with Davis. And but you know, Davis in the movie and Davis in the book, like they both have the same response, like we don't have to kiss if you don't want to, like we don't have to, we can take it slow and stuff, which is very sweet. So yeah, like it's the band-aid and the kissing that like Aza's super like heart's racing about, like she's super anxious about. Yeah, and that's all about Aza. That's all I can say about Aza. Moving on to Daisy. I think Daisy was really well portrayed by Cree. I love Cree as well. She was also on Nickelodeon. I love Cree's performance. I think she is very like spot on in to book Daisy. I think yeah, she's pretty spot on. Like she did a great job. I have no complaints, you know what I mean? Like she is exactly like Book Daisy in a yeah, I was gonna say in a way. No, she's exactly like Book Daisy. Um, the mannerisms, the way she talks and moves and everything, her choices, everything. It's spot on. Like her love for Star Wars, writing Star Wars fan fiction, all there in the movie. Her relationship with Michael. Michael is a very minor character in the movie. Um, yeah, I don't have much to say about Michael. He's a cool guy. He's just a nice guy. I think he's just there to be Daisy's boyfriend. But he's cool. Like in the movie, he's also very interested in art, and in the book, I feel like there wasn't a lot to say about Michael's art, only at like towards the end. But overall, pretty good. Yeah, not bad. Like, but I'm talking like Daisy mostly. This is a very like there's not a lot of characters in this book. There's very small, minimal characters, which is nice because like we get to focus on like the three main characters, which is Daisy, Aza, and Davis, which is great. And yeah, Daisy spot on. I don't really have much to say. I do think the fight between the two girls was more intense in the book than it was in the movie, because in the book, like when Daisy was like about to get off the parking lot, she actually tells Daisy to F off. In the movie she doesn't say that. I don't know, like I'm very like very attentive to detail and stuff like that, so like every little detail is like I want to focus on that and stuff like that. The scene where Ada like discovers the money in the Pop Tarts box, Um, Pretty accurate. Same thing. But the way in the movie, she tells Daisy about the money. She shows Daisy the money at her work in the movie. In the book, she tells Daisy in her car, in Aza's car, um, and she's like, what the, what? Like, she's like, oh, I could pay for college. I could buy a car, everything. Yeah, like I said, it's a very small cast of characters. So like it's easier for me to like talk about them, you know. Um, if there were like multiple characters, this would be like a very long video. But yeah, you know, highly recommend. I'm gonna. I was going to do a part about the OCD, but I am not educated on OCD. This is my first time learning about OCD. Um, I thought it was very interesting, and it's intense. Like the OCD moments in the book and in the movie are very intense, um, and it's very sad that people with OCD have to live like this. Um, it really it's torturous. It's torturous. It's like you can't enjoy yourself without having every little detail, even like a speck of dust is like, you know, a problem, you know. Um, and I think like this book, the book and the movie were pretty educational about those things, you know, and it wasn't romanticizing it, which is really, really great. You know, I feel like these days a lot of media, especially books, um, actually maybe not books mostly, but like TV shows and movies, they romanticize mental illness a lot, mental health. They romanticize it like, oh, I have this and this, and it's not fun. Like it's like a cage in your own head. Um, you're you're put in bondage. It's like you're in chains and you can't get out, and it's very heartbreaking. And but I think the book addressed it beautifully. Um, Also, oh, I forgot to mention Aza's mother. Um, pretty pretty accurate in the movie and the book. You know, same thing. I think I think in the book, I think she's more strict than in the movie. I feel like in the movie she's more chill in a way, but in the book I feel like she's a little bit more strict. Not like, but her and her daughter Aza have a pretty good relationship. The part in the book where she is told tells her mom about the money because when we didn't she didn't tell her mom in the beginning about the 100K, 100 grand. I think yeah, I think it's 100 grand. It's a lot of money. Whew. Her mom in the book is like, bro, you can't, you gotta bring that, you gotta return it to Davis. It's not yours, you know. But I think in the movie, Aza just tells her mom like, oh, by the way, Davis gave us 100 grand. Bye, love you. And then she goes to see Daisy, and then her mom doesn't have time to react, and she's like, you know. But yeah, this book also tackles grief. The, the book and the movie, they tackle grief a little bit, just a little bit, because of not Daisy, Aza's father passes away when she was very young, around 9 or 10 years old. So her and her mom are dealing with that. Mostly Aza, you know, because you know she was very close with her dad, um, and yeah, pretty much the same thing. I think um, pretty accurate to the movie and to the book. Like, I don't know what else to say. I think that's I think that's I think that's it for the book and the movie. So, in conclusion, 4.5 out of 5. This is a 4.5 out of 5 read. Why is it not 5 out of 5? I don't know. Maybe I'll bump it to a 5 out of 5. I don't know. I gotta get good at these ratings. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5 stars and call it a day. Go watch the movie if you haven't already. It's on HBO Max, or you can find a free website online and then just watch it from there. That's what I did. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching this video. If you like more videos like these, let me know in the comments down below. More book reviews or book to movie, book versus movie or something. Yeah, if you want more of those, put it in the comments. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you soon.